and welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or the Try-F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. We've been talking about Brandon Biggs and bombings and all kinds of crazy stuff. Today, we're going to talk about the Las Vegas bombing. Fire?
There was a Tesla truck, I believe, that blew in Las Vegas, and then somebody ran people down in New Orleans. And these happened on New Year's Day. There's been a lot of theories and confusion going around what exactly happened. With the whole Brandon Biggs thing making a prophecy about it, I kind of thought it would be appropriate to talk about what was going on. So I guess the only thing I need to do is pull up an article or pull up Benny Johnson's video. Of course, I don't just want to steal Benny Johnson's work. But that might be the only thing I can think to do to thoroughly concise it. Actually, let's just start with what happened, and we'll read an article from that. So, that's not it. Let's just go to CBS, even though it's CBS. Bleh. But anyway. All right, so, football ad. The strings of coincidences that initially appeared to link the New Year's Day tragedies in New Orleans and Las Vegas have been overtaken by mounting evidence that the Tesla Cybertruck bombing at the Trump International Hotel was in fact a public display of a private tragedy, new information in interview shows. Decorated U.S. Army Special Forces Master Sergeant Matthew Livelsberger, I'm probably mispronouncing that name, apologies, sent a disjointed email on the morning of New Year's Eve to Samuel Shumate, a retired Army intelligence officer and military pundit. It outlined a constellation of grievances and dire warnings related to his military service, but gave no hint or explanation for his actions. That is not true, according to some of the conspiracy theories. So I'm probably going to have to go to Benny Johnson, because that's not correct. So, in a text made public by local authorities, Livelsberger wrote, "I needed to cleanse my mind of the brothers I lost and relieve myself of the burdens of the lives I took." And in an interview Friday, a former girlfriend at Livelsberger said he told her he suffered a traumatic brain injury while serving in the Middle East. Alicia Arit, I'm probably mispronouncing that, apologies, who was in a relationship off and on with Livelsberger from 2018 to 2021, told CBS News that she exchanged around 30 texts with Livelsberger in the day leading to the bombing. She said he gave no indication that he was planning to take his own life to blow up the Tesla Cybertruck outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. That's called burying the lead, because they said that they had like hints that he was doing that at the beginning. They had a, what'd they say here? Yeah, they plainly said it was the display of a private tragedy, and then she denied that at the end of the article. So that's called burying the lead, ladies and gentlemen. So anyhow, that's not correct. So let me just go to Benny Johnson. Please don't copyright strike me, because I don't. He's the one that's given the best recap I've seen. Trevor, did you have something you wanted to say?
I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
I didn't follow any of that. What'd you say?
Was I reading too fast?
No, it just didn't make sense to me. It just seemed like word salad.
It sounds like they were trying to say he was suicidal because of his military service, but then the girlfriend turned around and said he gave no indications of wanting to kill himself, at the end of the article. So it's like they told the truth to cover their butts legally at the very end of the article, but initially they tried to create this impression that he was wanting to kill himself because of his military service, like he was a suicidal vet.
Okay.
So we just read that article. I didn't pull it up ahead of time. I literally just pulled that up on the spot. So that's a clear indication of lies right there.
Why would he want to kill people if he wanted to kill himself?
I don't think he killed anybody. I think it was just him.
Oh, is this the Las Vegas thing?
Yes. This is the Tesla Cybertruck.
I thought this was the New Orleans.
No, this isn't New Orleans.
My bad.
Yeah. So, let's see. All right.
I hadn't seen anything. Like, all I knew was there was a truck on fire in front of the hotel or whatever. I just figured it was a piece of crap truck and it blew up.
I don't think so. I think because there were fireworks. There were fireworks in the truck. So there was indications that this was supposed to be a spectacle.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's not really.
He lit fireworks inside the truck while he was in it?
I think there were just fireworks in it. Doesn't make sense. The story itself doesn't make
Okay.
sense. So,
Yeah.
Vinny Johnson, apologies. Please don't copyright us. I just don't.
What if this whole thing is just like it was actually just a garbage truck and they're like Elon is trying to keep up face, like save face for his truck company. And so they made up this terrorist story.
I don't know what's going on, dude. It's confusing. This whole thing is confusing. So
He's like, no,
What's up, guys? It's
these
Benny,
are
the
good
channel
trucks,
devoted-
I promise.
I haven't. Your guess. I don't know. So here's Vinny Johnson, everybody.
The truth and delivering the truth to you. In order to find the truth, you must first ask the right question. There's no such thing as a wrong question. Skepticism is a prerequisite to the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, some of these questions may be uncomfortable, and some of the answers may be even more uncomfortable, but this has been many years of actually answering uncomfortable questions about the nation that we live in, the people who run it, and the shadow government that sits atop those people that may be manipulating you and I. And I don't ever want to be part of that process. I don't want to be part of the manipulation. And some of the easiest ways to actually zoom out on any issue, like the Trump Tower attack on New Year's Day and the terrorist attack in New Orleans, is to simply start asking questions. And that's what we're going to do here. I know that there was an email that was delivered to Sean Ryan, and he read it on his show, and it had some pretty unbelievable claims in that email. Prima facie, we're not going to discount that, say that it's all a setup. But we're also not going to say, hey, listen, we 100% believe this to be 100% authentic. We're just going to have to ask the right questions, use our brains, and think through these issues. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to talk about some of the massive gaps in this story and some of the strange encounters and pieces of data that seem to lead to this being far more complicated than the official narrative, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin here with some of the strange occurrences on New Year's Day. Everyone is acting alone except for the fact that two suspects attacked on the same day, rented cars from the same company, not just cars, but electric trucks, and then served in the same military base. Got it, okay. Even Elon Musk saying, sure, are a lot of coincidences here.
Hold on, take a look at this. Think you can tell what's real anymore? What you're looking at right now
No.
isn't a tradition.
That was clearly AI, by the way. They're like, oh, think you can't tell what's real? That was clearly AI. I don't know why they said that. Anyway. Ads.
Candace Owens following up. The New Orleans terrorists, a guy who blew up the Tesla truck, both had served at the same army base. Given what we know about the history of sadistic government programs at our military, brings forth some major questions. More questions than answers. And a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that nobody, after the Matt Livelsberger, this is the name, Matt Berg is what he was known by. So Matt Berg, the guy who blew up the Tesla truck at the Trump Hotel, if he did in fact do that, now some people are speculating that he's still alive or that he didn't actually detonate anything, or that he was just a patsy, or that he was dead by the time the truck actually exploded and that the truck was driven there autonomously. I guess that we'll figure out the truth to all of that in due course, because I believe that Elon Musk is going to reveal the truth. It's going to be something that is going to be really important. And these Cybertrucks are very, very sophisticated vehicles. You can track and tell and see exactly what's going on with them at all times. You ever been around a Tesla? There's cameras everywhere, and they're running like all the time. So we should know the truth here. But here's a reality that happened over the past 24 hours. Nobody's talking about the ISIS terrorist, homegrown army veteran who killed 15 people on New Year's Day. The FBI lied about every aspect of that attack, and then hours after the attack opened up the guy's trailer to the media. I've never seen anything like that. So there's a mass murderer. We played you this video. So there's a mass murderer who's a terrorist, and they just leave his house open for the media to go and inspect. And the media compliantly...
Sorry, this is an aside. This might be in poor taste, but is it normal for reporters to wear yoga pants?
Yes.
That just seems
I don't know.
odd for...
Doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, because I don't want to get hit with copyright, I'm going to go to an Alex Jones video really quick because I just don't trust CBS. Weird. It's like funny. After years of lying, you get cynical. see if I can find the video.
They'll truck bomb it because that's easy to then cover up and then say the patsy, died the bomb or something. What about the ISIS and other groups that are being funded and Hezbollah cutouts that really aren't even with Iran? The massive military-age men brought into this country, and how the left says, oh, there'll be a big Black Lives Matter, Muslim, Antifa uprising if Trump wins. Clearly, they're getting that ready, and we can show some of the B-roll, the border totally collapsing Thursday in El Paso. And so how does that calculus enter into this? Because they think we're so stupid. We don't know ISIS is Mossad CIA, though it's on record it is. We do. We just show the Jerusalem Post admitting it. They think they'll have ISIS blow everything up here, but in the fourth quarter that we're now entering, in the next 157 days, and then the craziness that comes after that, ahead of the inauguration, the 79 Days of Hell Part 2. Remember, I told you hell was coming. All 79 Days of Hell, predicted all that.
What's he talking
In the
about?
lead up, and they could detonate a
This is a video of him warning.
Fourth quarter?
This is a video of him, I guess, predicting the truck attacks. Not specifically, but the CIA was going to do crap like this. So
The Prophet Alex Jones? What's the fourth quarter?
I don't know. I don't know. I was trying to look other stuff up, so I wasn't paying super close attention.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's try this.
Matthew is the ultimate patsy confirmed. And when I talk to two Delta Force guys I've known for a long time, and they say this is total crap, I already knew it then. Plus all the MO and the rest of it. Sam Shoemate, very respected intelligence analyst, very trusted by folks that I trust, have given me nothing but good intel over the years, has an email that we'll put on screen here in a moment. And he was talking to Matthew just recently, and he has released the email. This is December 31st at 10 a.m. He said they've got plans basically to attack people with drones, to attack the White House, to attack the inauguration. And he said, they're after me, they're trying to get me. Now, we know from state police and others that arrested McVeigh, he told them that. I talked to the police officers who were murdered in Oklahoma City because they were the first respond that told their families the same thing. McVeigh said, I didn't want to bomb the building. I didn't want to blow up the daycare. So they drugged him up and then had him picked up and wrote that in. And there's a whole story behind that. Southern Poverty Law Center, NATO intelligence, because CIA for illegal stuff will use NATO for domestic operations. We had Carol Howell, the informant for the feds, went public about how they cooked the bomb at Camp Gruber. And so Oklahoma City, we know exactly how they did it.
Hang on.
And so I said today, look.
Sorry.
I've been to Camp Gruber. I've camped there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they actually do hunting during hunting season. Like you can deer hunt there. They do a draw every year, and you can like kind of win a hunting package there. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
There's just a whole bunch of government land that's not being used.
Yeah. So I guess Jones is saying this guy is a patsy, like the government framed him because he was ratting them out on the drones. I'm assuming this is tied to the drones in
it
Jersey.
seems like it'd be like a kill two birds with one stone for the Department of Defense, because like Elon is the biggest Department of Defense contractor in the country, and so for his Cybertruck operation to succeed, like they want that to happen, obviously, because he's their biggest contractor. And also if they have a guy trying to out them on the drone info, whatever, who cares? They want him gone too. So
I don't. Well, I mean, I agree that they probably want the guy who knows about the drones gone, but I don't know if they'd have Elon Musk's truck blow up. That seems like that wouldn't help.
No,
his
it probably
stock.
just blew up.
Well, that would be a little.
It's a piece of crap.
That'd be a little convenient. The Fed just conveniently got rid of a guy. The truck accidentally blew up.
No, like.
Oh, so like maybe
the truck was already parked there, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this guy was inside."
Okay, so
but he wasn't.
Maybe the guy died by accident, and they're like taking advantage of it.
No, like they killed him and used that as an excuse for his death.
Okay, so they rigged the truck.
Maybe it's just a piece of crap.
Well, how could they time out the truck blowing up if it's a piece of crap?
What if it just was sitting there and it caught on fire? And they were like, oh,
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, did the guy die by circumstance and then they just milked it, or did they rig the truck to blow and then built this whole story around the guy?
you're saying what if the truck was just sitting there
Okay.
and it just caught on fire and somebody filmed it and they were like, oh, look at this.
Well, it didn't just catch
so
on
real quick,
fire.
they
It blew
scrambled.
up, and there was a bunch of firecrackers going off all around it.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
he. If we go to Officer Tatum
Officer Tatum.
video,
All right, hang on a minute.
yeah,
I
I
didn't
already
hear
got
anything about firecrackers. And I guess you
Hold
said it earlier, but I forgot.
Yeah, if you watch the video closely, he filled the truck full of fireworks and gas, and then pulled up there intentionally.
Do you have his video? Can you send me a link?
It just all seems
Yeah.
so silly.
Just
man.
send me a link, and we'll play his video. Because I mean, I would, because Benny Johnson, you can go watch his video. He's got a good recap of everything so far. But I don't want to get hit with a copyright, so you could watch his thing for the full analysis. I guess we're trying to figure out if this is an op because he knew something about the drones, or if this was what they say, some kind of terrorist attack. I don't think so, because if CBS just buried the lead like that at the beginning of the article, again, I pulled that article up at random. I didn't plan that. They're clearly lying, though, so we don't know what's going on.
Zoom
Yeah.
in.
All right, so here, let me click on this. Let me copy. Well, let me copy from here. Yes. So let me copy and paste the link. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I do that.
I think I just need to be quiet and listen because I don't know anything.
I will talk
I
amongst
don't think any of us know anything.
all of myself.
Hang on, I got.
Can you feel?
All right, hang on a minute. I gotta let an ad play. Cause
Make sure you ad lib.
yeah, make sure I ad lib.
Welcome to the Sky News Daily with me, James Matthews,
That's not
in
Officer
New Orleans.
Tatum.
Sky News. huh?
And me, Martha
Well, that's the
Cal-
link you sent.
Hold on.
It's not me.
Try again.
We're professionals, folks. Once again. So I don't know. Anyway, while that's playing, I will let Benny Johnson run while that's going on.
Walks right in and begins to show you his thoroughly unsanitized trailer, along with his Quran, the chemicals. There's little weapons in here. There are lists and sheets left by the government.
So for those who weren't tracking, this is the New Orleans guy, and they're going into his trailer.
Oh, we're jumping back and forth.
Yeah,
now.
we're jumping back and forth.
Okay.
So this is the New Orleans.
You're confusing me.
Sorry, this is all impromptu. So this is the New Orleans guy. This was the dude that was like converted to Islam or something like that. And the FBI, even though we, as Benny Johnson points out, we know nothing about the guy who took a shot at Trump, but for some incomprehensible reason, they let the media into the ISIS guy's trailer, which is weird. Anyway, let Benny Johnson explain it better.
Like, the whole thing is just a clown show at this point. In what universe does a mass murderer terrorist house, little more than a day after the event, they haven't processed the crime scene yet? You certainly wouldn't find religious text from an Islamic terror group proudly displays conveniently open to a specific page. This isn't even a good psyop. Yeah. This is what they found, by the way. They found a Quran open to a page about martyrism. There it is. Conveniently given exclusive access
Oh,
to...
I missed that the first time. That's right, boys and girls. So the media shows up just in time for the Quran to be open exactly on a page that talks about martyrism, because we're not trying to set a narrative at all. If you guys are gonna like hoax us, could you at least try? That would be nice.
Dude, it's getting so bad. It's embarrassing. It's like, guys, try harder. Your psyops are not psyoping.
Right?
I sigh every time I see a news story. I'm like, ugh.
Trevor, you're being media hold, man. They're not showing the video. They're giving me the authoritative sources.
So the one clip that I've seen from this whole New Orleans thing is it was on TV at the other day, It wasn't my
Try
house.
that one.
All right.
But this clip that was playing over and over was the 6 or 7, 8 officers that were running around that corner.
Uh-huh.
And it was just playing that over and over again. It's like, where'd they come from? Were they all just standing there hanging out waiting?
I think they were like watching to make sure the drunk people didn't get too rowdy.
Then they should have been where the drunk people were.
Well, I think there were drunk people everywhere, weren't there?
No, the cops were like by themselves around that corner, and they all just like ran into the people when they heard the shots.
Oh, they were just hanging out.
yeah.
Okay, well.
It's like, what? Shouldn't you guys be at your posts, or are you like waiting on something because this is an opportunistic opportunity to film?
Well, I don't know.
I don't.
They could have just wanted donuts or something. I mean,
I don't. Yeah.
I have
maybe
no
there was a
clue.
donut
I
out
have
there.
no clue. I don't know what was going on, but they were on the spot, so you know, it was probably just coincidence, I'd imagine. But
Usually is, right?
shush, no. Trevor, is this the guy?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Officer Tatum.
all right. So I think we got the right video finally. We got past the censorship wall, hopefully.
Show me around the world today of an equivalent of the jihadist Muslim. Show me an example. You can't find none. Show me Jews.
Did YouTube just show me the authoritative sources over an African American? What a bunch of
Yeah.
racists! How
Yeah, no,
awful!
they don't like They don't like this guy.
Boy,
at all.
them liberals, they sure don't like the minorities, do they? Oh my
They take
goodness!
down his videos all the time.
Somebody who practiced Judaism or a religious Jew or an ethnic Jew that's going around doing this. Show me a Buddhist that's going around doing this. Show it to
Nobody.
me. And I'll shut up and I won't say nothing else. But you cannot tell me that it is an issue with this particular religion, because offsets of this religion are violent, murderous, evil individuals.
Could it be because they're started by the CIA? Oh, maybe.
Could be.
Maybe
Just like
possibly.
the KKK and everything else.
It's almost like they have a habit of doing this.
If it's a
I think
three-letter,
Muslims are pretty based.
I don't know any Muslims, to tell you the truth.
They pray like 9 times a day, bro.
Well, they think they're going to go to hell.
whenever that bell rings.
They think they're going to go to hell if they don't. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But all right.
This is what I will say before we get into the terrorist stuff. If you are caught with ISIS propaganda and making allegiance to support ISIS, we should take you out back and put a bullet in your head and call it a day. There is no room for radical jihadist behavior by anybody in this country, let alone an American citizen
Or the CIA.
who gets radicalized. I don't understand why we can say we knew they were radicalized. They posted stuff on social media. You post that you giving an allegiance to ISIS, a known terrorist group. We should put you down like a dog. Easy. We put people down for less, and they let them go. They let them make it. They let them go about their day, and then they do something, and we come back and say, "Oh, we knew they were going to do it." Think about it. Uvalde, same thing.
likes
We
to
knew he
rant
was this way. Oh,
sometimes.
he was on the FBI watch list.
Likes to rant. Okay. Does he establish?
Yeah,
At what point does he establish his connection? Because he's saying there's a
Go back a
connection
little bit.
between.
Right after he does a little thing for where he gets his news.
Okay.
So skip
We'll
ahead.
skip ahead. All right.
Right there, he talks about where he gets his news, ground, something.
Okay. For the.
And then right after that, he gets into it.
So here.
Yeah, right in there
All
somewhere.
right.
Resource specialist and information technology specialist, which is, did he really serve? No, I'm not saying anything about people that serve, but their MOS don't seem
talking
like
about-
combat. All right, including a deployment to Afghanistan in 2009. He
I'm
achieved
presuming he's talking about the Las Vegas individual, right?
I think he starts with the New Orleans one, and he's doing a background type check
this is-
on New Orleans,
So this.
and that's his background.
So this is the background of the New Orleans attacker.
Yeah, the truck driver
Okay.
guy.
the rank of staff sergeant before being honorably discharged. Following his military service, he attended Georgia State University from 2015 to 2017, according to what we have here. This idiot was twice divorced and had 2 daughters, ages 20 and 15 at the time of the attack. His family reported that he converted to Islam at a young age. Friends and family noted that he became increasingly passionate about his faith around 2017. In months leading up to the attack, he exhibited erratic behavior as reported by acquaintances. Let me say this real quick. People got mad at me on campus the other day because I'm telling you, the true form, and prove me wrong, the true form of Islam is this. People that live in America that are not violent and not believing that we are the infidel and committing jihad.
Ranting about Islam again for a while.
Yeah, it's just like a minute, maybe. I'm not sure.
So,
let's say all of this is true. All these stories are true.
okay.
What is it about military service that radicalizes people? Maybe we should look into that.
I don't think we're getting the main story at all. I think this is some kind of op. So, I mean...
Well, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. But I'm like, based off their claims, like, why are your people that work for you so freaking unhinged?
We're probably grabbing them and doing it to them, frankly.
No, I get it. I get it. But let's say all their claims are true.
Yeah.
Like, all the government claims are true. All these stories are legit.
Yeah.
Stop radicalizing people in the military. How about that?
Yeah, well.
It's y'all's fault.
Nope.
That's what you get.
By your own admission.
Yeah, well. It's the Biden administration, I suppose. So.
I guess you can say that. I don't know.
Who knows, man? It's a little convenient that all this stuff is happening right before Trump's about to get inaugurated. It's just throw chaos on the board, see what sticks, keep people nervous, keep people afraid. And if they can do enough of this stuff and keep people in enough chaos, then in the off chance they can actually get Trump through violent means, then they can blame some other country and go, see, we need to go to war with Iran or somebody. Give us money.
Yeah. Well, they want Iran right now.
Oh, yeah, they're salivating over him, something bad. Remember Iran, they had the mothership full of drones that crossed the Pacific and nobody noticed. From reliable Thorthith, as you said.
Oh. Hi, Thorthith.
I mean, look, and here's the thing. I don't even think that congressman was lying. I think some Fed acted like a whistleblower and gave him that. I guarantee it.
Just like, what's that guy that he saw the alien spaceship or whatever? What's his name? He was
Lazar?
at,
Bob Lazar?
Yeah, that guy.
Benny Johnson mentions him in this video, actually. No, the Chinese letter, according to Benny Johnson, or the letter that this guy wrote about the drones, were supposedly, they were using anti-gravitation with these drones, which was Bob Lazar's claim about how these craft were flying. They were using some kind of anti-gravitational tech to get around. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I'm just saying, like, Bob Lazar, I think, was the same story. Like, they showed him something and he thought it was true and he freaked out.
This is my opinion. I have no proof for this. This is purely my conjecture. I think he was right about the tech, but they showed him aliens to discredit him. Because they all remember, he also was like seeing aliens and stuff at the same time. I think those, because he claimed that sighting was really weird. Like, he didn't get that good of a look later on. So I'm betting that they showed him aliens to try to discredit him, but the tech was actually real. And they probably had that bullcrap
they did
story.
the same thing to this guy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, but the tech. I think that.
High source.
Yeah, but I think the tech is probably legitimate. They just came up with some cockamamie story to throw the scientists off as part of like compartmentalization. So that's kind of my opinion, but who knows?
Yeah, if you keep playing this video, he actually shows the truck.
Okay.
So, trigger warning.
Yeah.
It's pretty graphic.
Okay, well, do we want to watch that?
I think we could watch it.
There are people that live in America that don't do that. They're experiencing a watered down version of Islam, a watered down Americanized version. Don't tell me nothing else. Show me another group in religion that's doing this. I'm just saying. Show me Christians that's out here doing this. In the name of Jesus, they go and blowing up stuff and killing people. Show me around the world today of.
Do you remember that movie in American Carol? The Episcopalian bomber. Guys, we got to take off our underwear now because of the Episcopalian bomber. So.
Is he saying that? Is he like trash talking Islam or
I
what?
think that's what he's getting.
No, what he's doing is he's show me another religion besides Islam.
Yeah.
Or this form of Islam, because in the intro that he does talking about the person, he goes into what religion he's into. And
Okay.
that's why he did this, because in that truck they found an ISIS flag.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Jones is making the point that ISIS is tied to the CIA. So that kind of increases the likelihood that this is an op. And maybe it's tied to Islam, but it's like the CIA may have had something to do with it. Hard to say what, but it's like, you know, they must be, I guess the theory is they must be like coordinating these attacks somehow to get in the timeout the way that they are. But whether these guys are knowingly a part of the CIA or whether they're actually a part of an Islamic faction and they're just kind of being steered behind the scenes in a certain direction, I don't think people know the particulars as to how this is getting done. But there's something not right about the timing. So people are like, this can't just be a straightforward terrorist attack. So I don't know, but that's what people are saying. There's a lot of confusion going on right now with all this.
Yeah.
Equivalent of the jihadist Muslim. Show me an example. You can't find none. Show me Jews. Somebody who practiced Judaism or a religious Jew or an ethnic Jew that's going around doing this. Show me a Buddhist that's going around doing this. Show it to me. And I'll shut up and I won't say nothing else. But you cannot tell me that it is an issue with this particular religion, because offsets of this religion are violent, murderous, evil individuals. The offshoot of Christianity is Mormonism, Pentecostal, what do you want to say? Denominational differences. It's not that there's peaceful and then there's the people blowing up stuff. They want to take over the world. How many times do they got to tell you and show you? They want Sharia law to rule the entire world, and they will do it by death and force. Therefore, an American who gets radicalized by this religion decides to do this. Roll the clip. So now, of course, we're not going to show you too much because we don't want to get banned from social media. But this is what this guy did with all intentions to do what he did because he hate America. ISIS affiliation. ISIS flag was found in this idiot's car, and he had possession of videos expressing support for ISIS and a desire to kill, indicating potential inspiring by the terrorist organization. The FBI is investigating possible affiliations with ISIS and whether he acted alone or he had an accomplice. And this is a picture of the ISIS flag that was found in his vehicle. It made me so mad. I keep saying this. Don't people have something better to do with their brand new year than to be running people over and trying to kill people over a religion that ain't even real? Don't make me get mad. And if you're a Muslim and you're watching me, you see why people are upset.
All right, I think, yeah.
So
why'd they have to lay the flag out on the ground? That seems very photo op-y to me.
I was thinking.
It fell out.
Yeah.
It was on the back of the truck.
It's
how
perfectly flat.
Well, you know how they
laid it
on
down
the back of the truck.
Well, they laid it down to take pictures of the photo, which they shouldn't have done because that's technically tampering with a crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a photo op.
Yeah. They.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did
It's
that.
so people will take pictures of it and spread it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think the
Like, this is
cops
weird
would
to
be
me.
furious about that if somebody actually did that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the FBI is investigating the CIA now. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
ISIS is the CIA. I mean, let's just be honest.
I think you're right. Okay.
It just really
And it's
seems
the
like
people-
we're pissing in the wind here.
Yeah, I'm curious what this guy says the connection between the two is, because I feel like there has to be a connection, but to my knowledge, there hasn't really been one established yet. So I'm curious to see what he has to say on that.
People just trying to live their life, man. They just out here trying to enjoy Trump Tower, Trump Hotel. And you out here being stupid because you radicalized by some fake religion. Okay. And this happened also on January 1st. Trump's International Hotel in Las Vegas resulted in the death of the driver and injuring several other bystanders. This idiot was 37 years old, served in the Army, and he served in Colorado, or at least that's where he was based out of. That's where he was on the base there. A little bit of his background: a Cybertruck he rented from Turo, which is where both of these idiots rented their vehicles from, was Turo. And the reason I think they rented from Turo, not because they were
What?
There's the connection. Both
Okay.
the individuals rented the car from the same rent company.
Gotcha. So it was Benny Johnson brought that up. Yeah. So that's the connection. They both rented it from Turo, huh? Okay.
Yep. There's
Is
a
there anywhere
connection.
else to rent Cybertrucks from?
Well, he's talking
Turo's
about
the only fancy car rental place I know about.
right, but the first guy that rented that F-150, I think it was.
Yeah, that wasn't one of the Tesla vehicles, the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second one rented this Tesla truck from the same company. That's their connection.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a little too convenient. I'm just gonna say that my bull
Yeah.
crud meter is going up.
Yeah.
So
Because what's the main one? Enterprise? Didn't they like go out of business and have to totally restructure during
I
COVID?
don't know if they went out of business.
Enterprise.
They took a pretty nasty
I mean, their
hit
their
during
stock
COVID.
crashed. Their stock crashed.
I'm sure that's
I was
right.
watching it.
I'm sure that. Well, Jess lost her job from Enterprise, so
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
So I mean, they took a nasty hit for sure. But yeah, I don't know if they went under. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It makes me think about bailouts and subsidies and stuff.
I don't know. I don't know what their end game is here, other than to just cause chaos and keep people on edge. I'm very interested in the
Yeah.
drone thing, though. Like, if this guy was saying that, you know, they're going to do something with the drones to attack Trump, and then, of course, you couple that letter with the guy going, "Hi, sources, mothership from Iran." It just seems like they're salivating to get a war with Iran going, and they're going to do anything it takes. And then you couple ISIS with this. I mean, they're all going to say this goes back to Iran, this goes back to Iran, this goes back to Iran, we need to
Yeah.
bomb Iran.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what I'm thinking they're going to try to do. So I just don't know where this guy from Trump Tower, what am I saying? Of course I do. It's the drone thing. That does seem to be the connection then, doesn't it? It's Iran, it's drones, it's trying to set everything up
Yeah.
with a war.
Yeah, it's just a big narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's,
And then you like, oh, Trump's it just all the fear increases the savior complex, and it's like, oh, Trump will save us.
no, they're going to kill Trump, or they're going to try to.
Well, you keep saying that, but they want you to think that
We'll see.
because that increases the savior complex.
Well, who's going to be the savior of Trump's? I mean, Trump doesn't want to go to war with Iran.
Trump's not going to get shot, dude.
I don't know.
They want you to think that so that you're like you have this picture of a hero in your mind.
Dude, I am telling you what I know about audio technician stuff. There were 2 gunmen at Pennsylvania. That was definitely the Fed. That was not Iran. It was the Fed trying to take a shot at him. There is no way that, you know, they're going to try to do this shoot him, but don't, just nick him thing. There's no way that they would actually even chance something like that, because anything can go wrong. Yeah, I don't think Trump's in on it. I don't think Trump is on these guys' team. This is what I think. I think
Maybe not.
I think that there are different types of people who make money, but ultimately there is the mercantile class, if you will, and then you've got your political class. And I think Washington has had this giant political class, but Trump was involved in real estate. Trump was involved in construction. He's one of those vulgar new rich types, as they would have said in the early 1900s. And the idea that some new rich clown would interfere with their world ticks them off. You compound the fact that he's new, like he can't be bought because he's got his own money. I mean, how is a lobbyist from a company supposed to bribe a billionaire? You really can't. So I think they're mad because he's going to do whatever he wants, and they don't like that because they've got their own little thing going. That whole town, Washington's a class unto itself. They're their own little tribe. They're their own little club. Trump ain't a part of it. That's why they were mocking him. That's why Obama mocked him during that press meeting, that dinner that they have where they're supposed to rip on the president. And, he was made fun of for even trying. And what that was essentially, all them Hollywood actors and all them different people going, Trump's never going to run for president. Trump's never, all that trash talking they were doing before he ran was basically them saying, stay out of our way. Don't you do it. We'll make your life heck if you do. And then you couple that with the Mueller report, the 2 impeachments, all the court stuff. I mean, that's not all theatrics. So I think that they don't like the guy. I think they've been trying to bankrupt him. They've been trying to scare him off. And more to the point, they're trying to tell other businessmen, don't you do this. We will make you pay dearly if you get in our way. Don't you think that just because you have money, you can get into our club. Because they did the same thing to Bloomberg. You remember Bloomberg, he spent, I think it was in the 2020 campaign, he spent, billions of dollars on YouTube campaigns and all sorts of stuff. And even the Democrats mocked him. They mocked that guy relentlessly. Now, do you really think they cared a lick about his policies? No, but he wasn't part of their club. He just had money. And they were like, that ain't enough. You have to be one of us, and you're not one of us. Stay out of our lane. And I think they do this to everybody who has money but is an outsider. And I think all this lawfare isn't just to go after Trump. It's to tell other corporate leaders, don't you dare. Don't you even think about it. That's also why I think they're mad at Musk, because Musk may not be a conservative or anything like that, but he's not a part of their club. He's just some South African who made money, so stay out of our lane.
He's a DoD contractor.
Yeah, eventually, but he didn't start that way.
No, he already is. What do you mean?
Well, he started out with PayPal. He started out in South Africa. He didn't start out rich. Like like the Bush family is a family.
His dad owned a ruby mine.
Yes, but these guys, there are families, there are groups that have been in Washington for years and years and years, and they all kind of run in this small circle, this small kind of clique. That's why Jones and these guys go on and on about the Skull and Bones and all these different societies. And that's why they go on about the Bohemian Group. It's because there's all these little family niches and networking meetings that go on, and if somebody does get rich, typically what they do is they blackmail them at something like Bohemian Grove or on Epstein Island or through the P. Diddy parties. If anybody gets any money and influence, they go in there and blackmail them so they can be used. And if for some reason somebody like a Musk slips through the cracks, then they don't want those guys playing in their game because they're doing a bunch of illegal, nasty stuff that if the public knew about it, they'd be ticked.
But Musk is already in there, man.
He
owns the biggest... I mean, it's the biggest communication platform, I think, right now.
But it's the distinction between new rich and old rich. And that's not exactly the right term. It's like being a newbie in the club versus being an old school guy. It's not just money. It's how long you've been there. Do we know you? Are you part of our club? And he's an immigrant.
Yeah.
He's an outsider.
I guess I can see that. I mean, because Kennedy, I think, was a mob boss, and he was stepping on toes.
Maybe. I also think I also heard there was some controversy about him being Catholic, and they didn't like Catholics at the time. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that. So there's reasons why people who try to get in get bullied out rather quickly. And it's usually because of something like what happened with Kennedy. They figure out what's going on. They figure out that CIA is trying to kick off a war with Cuba and tell them no.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's like usually when the new guys get in, they put a stop to a lot of the nonsense that's going on, and they don't want that. So
okay, I see you.
Yeah. So it's a theory. Who knows? It's all guessing and conjecture at the end of the day.
I'm hesitant to put any faith in anybody. That's, I mean,
This would be the time to be that cynical.
all presidents are garbage. I like.
Well, people are people and people suck. So I think as long as you've got a healthy skepticism of the institution, you're all right. But, it's these people that say the institution has to work. We have to, dismiss the election fraud cases because of, standing or some bullcrap, because we have to trust our institutions. It's people like that that get the country into trouble. It's not, I mean, there's a difference between regular corruption from individuals and institutional, systemic crap. So, I don't know. It's my guess. But this isn't a political show. I just thought we were going to get more information on the drones, and we talked about the drones before. That was kind of my thinking, but that didn't play out. Yeah. But we did learn something.
I think it's just the drones are just a new technology. They have to roll it out, so they have to divulge it to the people somehow. And the most convenient way for them to divulge it to the people is do it in a way that produces fear in people. And so they have to connect all these stories to roll out, like, look, this is what we're doing right now, but you should be scared because they can take advantage of that.
I think they've been sitting on these drones for years because China's had this crap for a while.
I agree.
And so I think that they're letting it out now because they've got an objective. They want to say Iran has it. They want to say China has it. They want to say somebody else has it so we can have a new bogey and we can do all sorts of radical innovation on our tech and give a bunch of money to the military-industrial complex and get ahead of everybody in some military race again. So they're going to say other countries have it and that we're behind.
Yeah.
Anything to create a bogey.
Yeah, just like the Russian moon landing fight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I still think we might have went to the moon, but yes, they did probably hype up Russia's tech so they could get ahead and get money. So,
yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, Trevor, what do you think, man?
Hi.
Hi, man.
It's our Navy. Our Navy is training people on how to use the drone tech.
You think it's the Navy?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Could be right. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all one big hodgepodge. Everybody's got, what do they call that? When you're not allowed to see, like above your pay grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like levels.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why all the
CIA's got their fingers in every department,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why all the drones were able to fly over major military bases is because they're training the Navy
clearance,
on how to use the drones.
Yeah.
So most of them are around coastal military bases, most of the sightings.
That's a good catch. You're right. It is a lot of coastal areas.
So,
They're just trying to hide it as good as they can, and then they're like, oh, it's weird. They're like attacking our military bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're
oh, that Iran. Get them next time, fellas.
Yeah. My high sources are telling me.
Yeah, no, it was I forgot who pointed it out. It might have been Tatum here. I don't know. I was just roaming through YouTube and come across this video, and the dude was like, "Guys, stop! It's literally just the Navy in their new recruiting video. The Navy shows you like people flying drones.
Yeah, I
like
saw
that's
that.
part of their training now, and that's all they're doing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Hey, we should get T-shirts with that guy's face on it that say "high sources," and just like put a little joint in his mouth.
That's our first merchandise, guys. High
With the
sources.
Tri-F podcast on there. That'd be sweet.
Hey, I got a merch place we could try.
There you go.
I gotta remember what it's called, but I can.
Yeah, after the show.
What, Teespring or something?
Well, there's Teespring, but there's another one that that I kind of like.
Yeah.
A lot of streamers use it. Let me see if I can
cool.
find it. I'll have to find it.
High sources. Yeah, that's pretty funny though, right?
That is funny. That's funny. All right. Guys, we're at 3 hours. I think we've kicked all the dead horses we can kick. So
We can kick horse.
To quote,
Nay.
at the risk of being cliche, I will quote George Carlin. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. So, all right, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.